Okay, hello, this is Mike, doing a little video on my 70-gallon Catalytes Artisan 2 tank. It is a pretty good tank. I have no issues with it. The glass is great, very clear, and the sump system is pretty decent as well. At the top I have two Kessel A160s per the recommendation of Pelfrey. I did get them. They are very good lights. I am happy with that purchase. In the tank, also thank you, Pelfrey. In the tank I have two MP10s. They create very good water flow in the tank, and I do not have any issues with them. They work very well. I like the programming that you can do with them, and I'm quite satisfied. The shimmering is absolutely amazing with the lights. And as you can see, I have black sand, black Hawaiian sand. And I chose to do something different. When I started a tank years ago, I did use white sand, and I think most people do, but the black sand is very nice, and it's appealing to me. So I went ahead and did it, and who knows, maybe I'll change it somewhere down the line, maybe when I do a bigger tank. I have about 10 fish in the tank. As you can see, I have a trigger in the tank. And he is actually doing okay in there. He's not nipping at any corals or bothering any of the other fish. So he's not overly aggressive as people might think. I have a tang, a foxface. I have about 4 clowns. I also have 2 mandarins, and they're in the tank somewhere. And they do pretty well because of the copepods that flow through the return into the tank, and there seems to be an abundance of them in the sump. I have about 3 turbo snails and 2 shrimp. Alright, so that is the tank, and inside the tank I have a mixture of corals. I have a couple, well, I have a hammerhead, I have a frog spawn, I have a couple of acroporas, I have one that's bleaching, and I'm leaving it in there to see if it'll bounce back, but I'm not very optimistic about that. And I have a bunch of other aquaporas at the top, some SPS corals, some LPS corals, and a few soft corals, as you can see. And I have a very nice elegance coral in the back. It's doing very well. It's a beautiful coral. If you think you can handle it, I suggest getting one. They have a bad rap for not lasting long, but I think it's really the Indonesian elegance coral that has most of the major issues that you might find in a tank. So this is it. I have over 30 corals in here. Once they grow, it'll probably be quite a bit. It'll probably look overcrowded in here, but I'll see how it goes, and maybe I'll frag a few and give away some. But in the sump, as you can see here, my skimmer is off. I don't use a skimmer because my refugium seems to be handling most of the nutrients and waste that well, aside from the sock that I have here, the sock does hold a lot of the waste that comes out of the tank, but the nutrient levels are controlled by this refugium that I have here with some Cato and some Caulerpa. My phosphates are 0, and I'm pretty sure this reactor has something to do with it. It is a GFO carbon reactor combination. I use both in that reactor. It saves space of having 2 separate reactors running. I do have a dosing system, a bubble magus dosing system for alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium. Here are my containers. I write on them just so I know which one has calcium, etc. And there's my return side. I have a very decent return pump in there, and I use a high flow rate throughout this sump to move the water, and I believe that helps a lot with maintaining good chemistry in the water. And in the second chamber I pretty much have ceramic balls and some live rock, uh, and that's it. So it's a simple setup. I'm not using the skimmer, and the tank is doing very well, much to my surprise, and I'm pretty sure everyone else's. So this is my tank, and so far so good. And thanks for watching. Take care.